Hello, we are back. Youth and Prominence program on Rite TV. We have the most amazing guests, Saison and Newton Ajuna. We are Rite TV Youth and Prominence program. The catchword on all social media platforms is Rite TV Uganda. Rite TV, RITE TV Uganda. You will find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Just get us there on Youth and Prominence program. These guests of ours have just done us so well. They've been married 8 years, a young couple, both of them are scientists. God gave them the dream set of kids, 2 girls and 2 boys. I am a woman. I know every girl's dream is same number of boys and same number of girls. The Ajuna has got it. So right now, we welcome them back into the show, and they are here to tell us, did they grow up in the same village? How did they meet? I doubt they went to the same kindergarten. But Newton and Saison will tell us how they met. Did they go official, or did they disappear from their families? You're very welcome. You did that so well in the previous episode, and I know you're here to motivate us. You're here to inspire us. I am sure somebody out there wants to do physics and math. IT, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, our viewers. How did we meet? Yes.
I like it.
After university, that was in 2009. My first job was in Shema district, but I used to hang out a lot in Mbarara, and sweetheart was studying from Mbarara University. So my first job was in Kabwohe, to be precise. I was staying home, but I used to go a lot to Mbarara. And we met through mutual friends, because she was in Mbarara. I used to hang out a lot in Mbarara. Actually, I think our first date was at Lakeview.
Hey, class.
Yes, our first date was at Lakeview. So that's where our relationship started from. That was back in 2010. Yes, because I started working there in 2009. I met her in 2010. We dated for 1 year before we introduced each other. That was in 2011, but our wedding was in 2013. So we met in 2010, dated for 1-2 years. Then we introduced, she introduced me to her family. Yes, and we wedded in 2011 December. Then we wedded in 2013, that is July 20th, 2013.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, Saison, how about you? For him, he was working. What was your side?
I think the first time I met him, we used to go to those, campus, and then you go out to. He used to hang out at a place called Kinobwisho. They used to have good muchomo. It's in Mbarara. I know if they still have, but they used to have good muchomo. So for the first time, it's where we met. Then to meet, like have that first date at Lakeview. But we first met there, and I think maybe he saw me, and I don't know, but somehow. Yes, and somehow. Yeah, and on our first date, really, the first time we met, you come back, you are at campus, someone is taking you to Lakeview for the first time, Sarah.
Lakeview even now.
Yeah, but it was amazing. We had good time. We just talked in like really nothing much, and we just talked, and I didn't know him much, really. I didn't know him much. I'd never seen him, so the first meeting, I didn't say that it was like a date or what, but I didn't know that that first date will actually lead us where we are right now. So
That was you, but I perceive that Newton did it on purpose. He didn't just come to pass time. On his calendar, he noted. Hmm? Wow! For him, he took note. He was in it fully.
Yeah, that she didn't take it that serious, but me, I think I was serious. Yes.
Yeah,
For
so
him, he took note.
yes, that first date we just meet like someone and you talk. Yeah, but from that talk, from the first time I met him, how we talked, I really saw that. Well, in my heart, I was like, this is a good guy.
Hey,
Yes,
he's forward.
Yeah, sincerely, he's forward. I was like, yeah, he's a good guy. But I was like, you know how ladies
Why?
will be.
Let me wait.
Let me just study
I
him
might
and
get too excited
yeah.
too soon.
And I used to like hanging out. Even now, somehow, yeah, I've reduced a bit, but I used to like going out.
I like
a lot.
you're being honest.
Yes, a lot. And I think every day, we move from Kabohe after work. He comes to Barra to see me, like to take me out every day. And I think that time I was doing my teaching practice from Maryhill. Yeah, I was teaching Maryhill. And every after work would come. By that time, the friend had a bike.
That school practice was nice.
So he would come and pick me on that bike every after work and we go out and we do what, as we studied each other, as I get to know him more. And I think after like 4 times in my heart, I think I was like, this is the right man. I was like, so it didn't take us really long to study each other. It didn't take us long.
Newton scored on the first day.
On the first day, the first time we
but
talked,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, it mattered like, yeah, he's a good man. And
I like that.
yes. So really, the first meeting really he scored. So it wasn't so hard for him maybe to convince me and do what. Like as a woman, of course, I had my qualities. I had the qualities of looking into a man and like what. Maybe let me mention something. I know sometimes there are many girls out there. Some and people they don't know how do you know that this one maybe is like the right man and what?
Very much.
Maybe to share my experience for me from the first time we met. The first time we met, we talked and what, and he was so open, which is not so common in men. He opened to me.
Openness.
He told me where he was working, of course. He told me how much he was earning. He told me his plans, his future plans. Get on the first date. For someone doesn't know you much and someone starts saying this is how much I earn, someone to be open. And I was like, I think this is the kind of person I really want, like someone to be open and someone is willing to share with you his plans. I was like, I think this person is a kind of a person I was looking for. Having come from a background where I've seen my parents do everything together, being open, like how we grew up, you don't know, maybe there is no they don't have secrets between them. So I think I was also looking up like that man whom we can work together, plan together, you're open, it's like an open book in the relationship. And exactly that's what he was. And that one alone, I was like, before looking at other things, that one alone, it's first, it got my attention. I was like, yeah. Now that one gave me more energy even to date him and be like, let me study him further, let me study him more, maybe. Now we won't talk about our families, where he come from. But that one alone, that is what I was looking for in a man. So as girls out there, look at what you want. What kind of a man do you want? Look at those qualities you would want in a man. And if that person has those qualities, the person might not be perfect, but you have those qualities, that the key qualities you would really want in a man, then yeah. So that's what
Okay, maybe I don't know.
Actually, Newton, I am touched. I'm humbled. A young man, he had just left school. I want Newton to tell us, where does this come from? He meets this beautiful She's beautiful today. That means 10 years ago she was smashing. How did he trust her with his real depth and truth? Newton, it speaks a lot about your character. We want to hear more about it.
Okay, maybe what I can say about Sweetheart is that she is an open book.
Wow.
She will tell you how she feels. She will not hide so much from you. So
Wow.
that is very important for any relationship. When you meet someone and they open up, they don't hide their background. They tell you everything. That is very important. Like you said, we met when we were relatively both young, because I think
You were.
I was 25, 26, around that age, and for a man that is not very old.
That's quite young.
Yes. So to make the decision, because even amongst my circles, I think I was among the very first people to take that bold step. How I took the bold step, I think it was God. I don't
We
know.
thank him for
Yes,
that.
I don't know how I took that bold step, but I think it was God. But key to our relationship, I think, is the openness. Like I indicated, we quarrel as human beings, we disagree, but the key thing is, even when you disagree, you talk about it, why you have disagreed, and that's how we are where we are. And maybe I think I would be deceiving myself if I didn't talk about this. At some point after we wedded, we took some time, but we later joined the fellowship. And I wished we had joined the fellowship earlier. Precisely, this is St. Francis Makerere Marriage Fellowship. We belong to Gayaza Road Marriage Fellowship. We took a while to join it, but I think looking back, I wish we had joined it immediately after wedding, because why I'm speaking about the fellowship is dating is one thing, but marriage is another. Yes, that's why I'm talking about the fellowship. And just like any industry or any practice, for you to become good at something, you need to learn from people who are practicing the same thing. Yes, that's why I'm bringing in the fellowship. Because when we got married, we were young. Our friends were still single, so we could not run to them for advice. So you naturally meet hurdles. In any marriage, you will meet hurdles. Now, for those hurdles to get answers, you really need a support group that is also in the same thing. Yes, and looking back, when did we join the fellowship? 2014?
2014.
2014 or 2015?
2015, I think.
But looking back, I think most of the things we were calling challenges in the first 2 years of marriage, when we joined fellowship, we realized that actually, yes. So I'm saying this to inspire the newly marrieds, or those ones that intend to get married soon, that you need to have that support structure. And this support structure can only come from people who are in that institution of marriage. It cannot come from your friends unless they are also married. But it is key that you have that support structure, because to us, I will testify, it has really made us who we are. We are talking about being happily married. It is not just because of ourselves, but because of this support structure, because the fellowship has really made us what we are. I want to think it has played a very big contribution. Of course, God led us to this fellowship. We cannot attribute the success to just the fellowship, but ultimately it is God who led us there. So our relationship, we attribute its success so far to God. Yes, super.
The Ajunas are going to tell us a little bit more about fellowship. But I want them to speak, before they tell us more about fellowship, I want them to say something about the decision to go home and tell their families, I've met my sweetheart, and preferring to go through the rigorous kuhinjira, okusimeka, the money. You're young, you don't have the money all in your hand, but choosing to do it the right way. Saison and Newton, I want you to say something about this.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. I did not mention I come from a very small family.
And this time you mention your family
Yes, I come from a very small family. We are 3 children, 1 boy and 2 girls. I am the firstborn, and our parents are Mr. and Mrs. Kafero Wilson from Kabohe. So why I'm bringing this out is my parents always insisted to us or to myself that when you meet someone and you're ready, don't just play around, don't just, because they insisted that when you meet someone and you feel they are the one, you need to let us know and we shall support you.
Wow, parents,
And
I hope you're hearing this one.
And I'm saying this especially, not that my dad did not play a very big role, but my mom was very instrumental in this, because she always insisted that please don't just meet someone and you just go there. When you meet someone, bring them to us and we shall support you through the process. So I think my mom played a very big role in me introducing Sweetheart to my parents and us taking the steps that followed thereafter. So I think parents, I'm a parent now, we have a very big role to play. I know traditional parents don't create that window of yes, so but we are no longer traditional parents, so we need to open up, talk about these things. Yes, prepare our children, because most times we enter these things when we are not well prepared, and I think parents are the best people to prepare us for these things. Yes, so I attribute the decision I took to introduce Sweetheart to my parents and to make everything official to my parents, especially my mom, because she always insisted, because we are not so okay, I was not so open in that direction, but she kept probing. Yes, she kept probing, and yes, yes, she kept probing, and yes, as parents, even when your child keeps quiet, it is key that you probe and probe. But also as children, I think our parents will always be happy when you bring such good news, because it is good news. Even when you don't have a very tight relationship with your parents, but this news is very good news and they will always welcome it. So don't just go into hiding, and just tell them, because I think this is the best news they would want to hear. Yes, so I attribute it to my parents, and because they kept probing until I opened up, and we took the next level, and they were very supportive throughout the process, because I couldn't have done it on my own. They were very supportive. Yes, you got.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, like Sarah said about my background, we are so close to our parents. And let it be my mom, let it be my dad, who are very close. The accent, I think, like at campus, maybe in case your phone has an issue, and maybe you have like a friend who is a boy, and you tell mommy, I want to use your phone, and she'll be okay, she'll give you her phone to talk to your friend. And of course, my dad will always make fun of us. Now say so, there's the other boy I saw you with, like friends, you're discussing like that. So who is that person? You have this. So who is that particular person? And I'll be like, Daddy, you wait. When the right person comes, of course, I will tell you, Daddy, these are just friends. But because somehow I grew up and I was so close to the boys. And most of my best friends were boys. So I think my dad sometimes would be confused and be like, but my daughter, you know. So I told him, Daddy, you wait. When the right person comes, definitely, I will let you know. And when the right time came, I just told Daddy, and I was like, this is what it is. I've met someone, and of course had to ask, this person is from where, the family, what. But lucky enough, I actually found out that sweetheart's mother was from our side, from Mitoma. So somehow my parents knew her, especially my mom. So me, I didn't, of course, I got to know after that time. So that it made actually things even much easier because they knew the family where I was going. So it wasn't that hard because we are so close. Like we share a lot. Sarah. Like sweetheart was talking about the relationship with your parents. For us, me and my dad, we can talk about things you cannot even, like sweetheart, you can hear when we are talking on phone, you can't know that I'm talking to my dad. You can think maybe I'm talking to a friend, whatever, but we are that close. And that one gave us that room of not hiding out things. You know, we would share most of that thing.
We thank God. This is an amazing story. The young people watching us out there, a good relationship with your parents is a very good investment. The Bible says in 1 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 10, this is the prayer of Jabez. And the prayer of Jabez, he's talking about, oh, that you would bless me, that you would enlarge my territory, you know, that you would keep me from harm, pain. So Sison and Newton come to marriage fellowship. And I think they've had their other 2 children when they're members of that marriage fellowship. In a minute each, what would you tell a young people about marriage fellowship? We will say something more a bit later, but just in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I will start it off. Thank you, Sarah. To all young people out there, to all aspiring marrieds, to all young couples, I really urge you, and I'm saying this because I'm saying it from experience and from what I have discovered. Belonging to a marriage fellowship, a Christian marriage fellowship, is very important, especially if you have entered that marriage and you wish to, first of all, be happy. You wish to live by your vows, because surrounding yourself with people who have common interests, because the marriage fellowship is about building marriages. So when you surround yourself with people who have a common interest, you will certainly be involved in activities that are geared towards building and sustaining that marriage. And that's what marriage fellowship is all about. And people think that when you're in a marriage fellowship, it is just prayer, it is Bible reading. But there are very many good activities in there that you cannot even imagine take place in a marriage fellowship. Because when you get married, the bit of sex, we call it 20 minutes in marriage fellowship, yes, it is something that you freely talk about. Because you're married, it is okay to talk about it. You have activities that people might not imagine takes place in marriage fellowship, but basically all the activities in there are to spice up the marriage, to make it interesting, to make it enjoyable, and above all, to lead you closer to God. Because one key thing we keep learning is that the closer you get to God, the closer you will also get to your spouse.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
So you cannot have a good marriage if you part so much away from God. The closer you get to God, because And this is something I've experienced, that the closer you get to God, the more you build a relationship with God, the more you actually get closer to your spouse. Yes.
Nice one in 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sweetheart has almost hit it all. Yeah, in this fellowship, we meet as a couple. So the lady and I. So it's better when all of you, both of you, you're learning.
Learning is to the two of
To the
you,
two of you,
not one-sided.
not one-sided.
So we got marriage fellowship as a couple.
As a couple.
I testify, I've seen these people in marriage fellowship of my years together.
Yes.
Youth and Feminist Program on Rite TV, Newton and Saishton Arjuna. Their story doesn't end. Everything I hear, I want to hear more. Find us on Rite TV Uganda Youth and Feminist Program on all social media platforms. The keyword is Rite TV Uganda. Rite as in R-I-T-E. God bless you. We are still with our guests. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tugenda kutandikira ku enlarging our territory.